And Speed United, as we welcome you into the penultimate weekend of the Baller League. Callum Williams, your commentator, as the Midnight Wizards take on Speed United. And no doubt about it, Midnight Wizards, as we said, have lost their first game of the season last week. They had been unbeaten prior to that, with a recent victory, a 5-3 win over the Super Ninos of particular headlines, and Kodra lashing the ball over the top, but Starikov was the player who was taken down, and a decision now in favour of the Midnight Wizards. Starikov, of course, just behind Stephen Kodra in terms of the goal scores so far this year. 8 goals for the 37-year-old Ukrainian player. Here's Kodra, just out of the grasp over on the far side of Ochoa. Here come the Midnight Wizards, and the effort towards goal is easy pickings for Tyler Hogan. 48 saves now in the Baller League for the one-time Atlanta United goalkeeper. The effort towards goal is rash, to say the least. Effort towards goal in the end from Mivian. Alessandro Moyan, the individual in charge of Speed United today, in the absence of Speed. Away by Wallace for now. And from one end of the field to the other. 2 goalkeepers that have been almightily impressive over the course of the Baller League campaign thus far. Here's Hogan now into the wide areas. Clever little flick from Kodra, but Alta not on the same wavelength on this occasion, though. Here's Starikov, the captain of the Midnight Wizards. Starikov, ex-Zenit St. Petersburg and Rostov in Russia, has UEFA Champions League experience on his footballing resume. Over to the far side. Linares. And the header executed in the end went well wide of the intended target. You can see what the initial thought was, though. Goalkeeper could have been beaten from that situation. There seems to be an issue now for Stephen Kodra. Hogan comfortable amongst the crowd. Mivian. And now into the path of Navas. And towards goal it goes. It's well blocked. Second helping here for Speed United. Ochoa unable from the angle. And eventually steered to safety from a Midnight Wizards perspective. Well, Ochoa coming close. Matias Renares, the Argentine goalkeeper, ex-Tampa Bay Rowdies individual, able to make the necessary save, but now this will be a free kick after the ball hit the ceiling here. So will Renares be tested? Luis Peralta, the Colombian player, 4 goals in his last 5 games. It's Ochoa towards goal. It's a very good save. Behind for a corner. So remember, 3 corners results in a penalty kick in the Baller League rules. It's an astute piece of goalkeeping from Matias Renares. Here's Starikov, clashing with Peralta. Happy to dice with danger. Here come the Midnight Wizards. Of course, coached by the legendary Ronaldinho, not in attendance today, but I'm sure watching on. Cleverly slipped through, Chiarella over to the far side and lashed towards goal, and easily gathered by Tyler Hogan. Ochoa, the Colombian. It is that time of the Baller League campaign where results matter more than most. The angle against Speed United, and Navas, another save from Renares in goal. It's been a positive start for Speed United. Conditi. Options are plenty. Here's Peralta. It's been a delight to watch throughout the Baller League thus far. As we mentioned, 4 goals in his last 5 games. Ochoa combining with him. 2 Colombians combining. Now it's into the path of Navas, and Starikov on defensive duties for the Midnight Wizards. A clever little flick back into the Ukrainian player. Here's Starikov. Starikov trying to play it into the path of Kachibu. He did just that. Into the grasp of Hogan for now. It's opened up for Peralta. It's a really, really good challenge, but the ball given away almost immediately. Here come the Midnight Wizards, and the wrong side of the post is struck. Valiant effort from Juanma Colazo, the wild card player today. Hogan Speed United have allowed just 3 goals in the last 3 games. The effort back across the face is clipped away by a retreating Colazo. And Ochoa over to dish out his apologies. Both players had every right to go for the ball, it seemed, at least from this vantage point. Now, the ball was there to be won, and there was a little coming together between the two players, and Juan Colazo has come off the worst. Of course, scored 4 minutes into the game against M3 FC last week on his Baller League debut. Just clutching the right ankle. We'll keep an eye on that moving forward. Well, they'll be happy with the start, no doubt. They've had the better of the opportunities. 24 goals scored throughout this campaign for Speed United, 8 in the last 3. Here's Hogan. Over the top now for Ochoa. Very, very good piece of goalkeeping. Well, Ochoa once again coming so close. Matias Reinares again playing the spoiler. It's heading for the top corner, wasn't it? It's another divine piece of goalkeeping from Reinares in goal. So, ball in favour of the Midnight Wizards over on the far side. 26 goals scored. Only Showtime have scored more with 28 thus far in the Baller League, but now they have some defending to do. They manoeuvre forward through Rabold, the Hungarian wild card. Colazo. Reinares finding the feet of Starikov. Can he add to his numbers? 8 goals thus far, trying to slip it through. It's a good piece of defending from Speed United. Down the line they go, and the touch, not what Speed United were hoping for. Richard Rabold, the ex-Ferencváros and RB Salzburg youth player, unable to control the ball in the manner in which he would have wanted to. So here's Reinares. Up into the sky it goes, and from one goalkeeper to another. Hogan will tell you he had it under control. Rabold. Angled ball forward, gets the thumbs up. Not the delivery that Speed United were hoping for, though. Of course, Speed United haven't lost since match day 2 against Club 360. It's been a very successful last couple of weeks for Speed United. A record of 4 wins, 1 loss and 2 draws thus far. Has them right on the cusp of the conversation with regards to the State Farm Championships in the Baller League. Rabold. Hogan with a test, and towards goal it does go, and it's still not completely cleared away. Navian does the rest. It's a tense, tight affair. It's just that time in the Baller League. Just 2 games remaining. And these two sides with a lot to play for, no doubt. Midnight Wizards hoping for at least a top 3 finish. Speed United hoping to finish 4th, if not better. It's a very good challenge from Starikov. Awaiting a run of some sort. Fortuitous deflection into the wide areas. Clever footwork, but given away. Here comes Speed United. Rabold now, and Rabold towards the far side, and in the end behind. Tried to just slip it through the back line, didn't he? Found a gap of some sort, but was unable to find a fellow teammate. Well, Speed United have had plenty of control of the ball. It's not exactly something they're completely alien to. Passing accuracy has been very good over the course of the tournament. 82% passing accuracy so far. It's the 4th best in the Baller League thus far. Possess the ball well. Just at times do leave themselves a little bit exposed, as we were saying in the pre-game show. Here's McDonald. João Dominguez, another wild card player. Goal on his Baller League debut in a 5-1 victory against Any Means United. Hogan thrashing forward. Touch back inside. Here's Navas. Navas twinkle-toed, and Starikov read the pass all the way. And here come the Midnight Wizards. It's a tight and tense affair thus far. Speed United have had the majority of the chances. Reinares, the busier of the 2 goalkeepers, no doubt. Dominguez. Seeking an outlet of some sort. Midnight Wizards go long. Touchdown impeccably. Here comes Speed United though, and the effort towards goal, just wide of the intended target. Well, the referee says there was a touch on the way through, which means 3 corners, and now a penalty for Speed United. And in truth, it's exactly what they deserve. So then this will be a major moment for Speed United. It's McDonald looking to score. It's saved! And the chance pushed to one side. And the impeccable afternoon of Matias Ramirez continues, receiving a smattering of applause from his teammates. The Argentine goalkeeper keeping Speed at bay once again. Did everything right, didn't he? McDonald opened up his hips, trying to trick the goalkeeper and go the near post, but he made himself big and wide and made the necessary save. Well, no doubt the star of the show thus far, Matias Ramirez, the goalkeeper, ex-Tampa Bay Rowdies and tormentor. Played in the 2nd and 3rd tier in the United States. Well, that's problematic, isn't it? Kodra with a real problem, meaning an even bigger problem for Speed United. Golden Boots chaser Stephen Kodra may have to sit this one out. So the Midnight Wizards with a free kick. Zayan manoeuvring forward. Zayan Andrade, the Brazilian, it's well intercepted, and Speed United looking to capitalise and pounce again, but it's Zayan Andrade once again on defensive duties. I'll be fair on the ball now, the ex-US Youth International.
2 minutes until the first game changer.
2 minutes remaining until we have the game changer. You get the feeling these two sides may welcome a game changer. And shaking and a rattling of the rules here. Well, eventually the whistle was blown. Penalty, the guilty party. Zayan Andrade, the player taken down. Twinkle-toed Brazilian. Played collegiate football at Marquette, of course. The boy from Rio wins a free kick now for the Midnight Wizards. So the question will be, what can they do from this type of angle? So Hogan now, perhaps to be tested. So goalless as it stands, but we've had our chances, no doubt. Both sides have had their chances. Here come the Midnight Wizards, and in the end, the ball flying high over the crossbar. And as we said, both sides have had their chances, but no doubt it's been Speed United who have had the better of them. Here they come again, stopped momentarily. Speed United missing a penalty, for those of you joining us late. Matias Ramirez being the busier of the two goalkeepers, no doubt about it, making a handful of spectacular saves. Here's McDonald, the player who missed the penalty. Hogan. Of course, you can get your tickets to the Baller League. Scan the QR code or head over to ballerleague.us. So 1 minute until the game changer. Clever turn from Ochoa. Just unable to pick out a player of some sort. He thought the run came from Peralta, it didn't. So what can the Midnight Wizards do from this? They haven't kept a clean sheet since match day 1 against Showtime. That'll be an aim of Matias Ramirez to change that, and given how he's performed here thus far, you wouldn't bet against him. Here he is on the ball again. It's a scooped effort which Peralta latches onto. Ochoa in support, and across it goes, clipped away for now. Here's Hogan.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And serving. It's time for the first game changer. So +1 is the first game changer rule of the day. The game starts with 1v1 plus goalkeepers. After every goal, one player is added to each side. The goalkeepers, remember, not allowed to leave the penalty area or indeed engage in build-up play. If a goalkeeper does this, it'll result in a penalty. Well, I wonder if we'll see him here today. Started the game, of course, did Stephen Coulter, but now looks to be ruled out for the proceedings. Starikov ready to take centre stage, no doubt. So then the players have been chosen for +1. And as we said, the game itself was a tight and tense affair. You get the feeling the shaking of the rules may very well present opportunities. Here's Peralta, twisting and turning. Peralta. Linares unable to make the necessary shave. Here's Peralta again, and Peralta! Oh! Well, he did everything up until the final moment. For the first time, Matias Linares was beaten, and Peralta couldn't convert. It's a lovely piece of footwork. Just perhaps leaning back a little too much. Big chance, and he knows it. So McDonald's the player to defend. Can the Midnight Wizards find an opportunity here? Yes, they can. It's a very good save from the goalkeeper. Tyler Hogan able to push the ball aside and keep the Midnight Wizards at bay. Malik Manana denied once again by Tyler Hogan. So Peralta to go again. What does he have up his sleeve? Peralta. Peralta! And again it's over. Once again, Luis Peralta doing all the hard work. And still we remain goalless, somehow, some way. So now it's the turn of Starikov up against McDonald. Eugene Starikov. And Starikov let fly. McDonald was able to make the challenge. It'll be a corner to the Midnight Wizards. All they need is one more for a penalty, remember. So will it be third time the charm for Luis Peralta? Has found a way past the Midnight Wizards back line on 2 occasions, but struck over when it seemed as though it would have been easier to score. Here's Peralta, getting the half a yard he needs. Peralta, once again unable to force a way through. It's a stern challenge. Referee allows play to continue. Eventually the whistle is blown. Well, the Midnight Wizards pleading their innocence, but the foul was obvious from the get-go. Gomez with the challenge. That'll be pushed to one side, and now the ball finds itself on this end. Flashed wide once again by Richard Rabold, ex-professional in Hungary and Austria. So then here come the Midnight Wizards once again. McDonald, the player defending. Can the Midnight Wizards find a way through? Not on this occasion. McDonald proving stern for now. Here's Manana and over. Oh, the theme of the attacking players doing all the work and not being able to finish continues. It's a lovely turn from Manana, the Algerian. Push the ball over, but here comes Speed United. It's another really good save from the goalkeeper. Richard Rabold again denied. Time after time after time, Matias Linares making save after save. He may be having to make another one here, and he does so again. Encouraging them to push forwards. Here comes the effort, and wide of the intended target from Gomez. End-to-end stuff at the Baller League, as you've come to expect. My word, what an afternoon for Matias Linares. Here's Peralta again. Luis Peralta craving half a yard. Twinkle-toed Colombian. Peralta, another very good challenge. Goalkeeper may very well have had it covered as well. Can all be fair, keep them at bay. Peralta, fair with the challenge. Corner for Speed United. So into the final 10 seconds and one more chance before the half-time interval.
10, 9, 8.
Now or never in terms of the first half. It's a very, very good challenge from McDonald. Well, the Midnight Wizards want a corner. That's exactly what the referee has said. So it will be a corner. 3 corners, so the Midnight Wizards have a penalty and a chance to score with 3 seconds remaining in the first half.
At the stroke of halftime. 3 seconds left to play in the half.
And of course, who better to try and score than Eugene Starikov? It's Eugene Starikov who fires over. And still, somehow, some way, we remain goalless. Just seemed to rifle the ball over the bar, put his foot through it as opposed to executing a composed effort.
3 seconds left to play. 2, 1.
So then, there we have the half-time buzzer. Goalless somehow, some way between the Midnight Wizards and Speed United. We've had a litany of openings and opportunities, but we remain goalless. We've even had a missed penalty from Speed United and Cameron McDonald, who found himself in on goal. But in the end, Speed United unable to find a way through. The Midnight Wizards have had their chances as well, but it remains goalless.
The best we fucking played this whole tournament, okay, boys? We just haven't finished. Just keep your heads up, okay? It's okay. It's okay. Just keep fucking shooting. Keep playing how we're playing.
Yeah. And don't forget, the reason why we're playing good is because we're playing together fast and we're defending together all the time.
Hey,
so it's team. We look like a fucking team, boys.
Let's go.
Boys,
they're scared. They're scared.
Eugene, half, Aguido. Together. Shoot.
Also, no doubt about it, Matias Reñares has stolen the show thus far, but that is problematic for Speed United. Stephen Contra gives us a little wink. Speed United fans will want a goal from him, but to see if he can play any sort of part in the game. Speed United fans in full voice once again. Can Navas and co find a way through? It's a near picture perfect performance from Matias Reñares. Kept Speed United at bay in spectacular fashion on several occasions. It's been tense, it's been tight. Do we have an opening goal here between 2 of the top 4 sides in the Baller League? Get the feeling it'll take something special to beat Matias Reñares here today. What a performance from the Argentine goalkeeper. And Tyler Hogan has made the saves that were needed when necessary as well. Tailored 2 goalkeepers thus far between 2 of the top 4 in the Baller League. The second half underway. What do we have in store here? From DT with an early challenge. Ochoa, now the Colombian, over to Peralta. Peralta twinkle-toed down under the challenge. Both officials having a look at each other, nothing awarded. Much to the irritation of Speed United. Starikov now on the ball. Pickpocketed by retreating Ochoa. Navas, current beach soccer international with the United States. Ochoa having to retreat, it's awkward for the Colombian. Anywhere will do in that situation. Wanted a little more support from Tyler Hogan, it seemed. Both sides could do with a victory for very similar reasons here today. As you mentioned, it's 2 sides within the top 4 in the Baller League. Speed United qualify if they find a victory today, and M3 FC lose. Of course, M3 FC underway on matchday 8 and on the 3rd matchday of the evening. Midnight Wizards will qualify for the next round if they win, and M3 FC lose or draw. We'll do our best to keep you updated with all of the proceedings here on what is a vital match day in the Baller League. So a kick in on the far side. Midnight Wizards want a little more space. According to the rules, they have to be given a certain amount of yardage. And Yara is able to clear the ball away, was quickly charged down by Ochoa. Does feel tense in the arena. You can hear a pin drop. Here's Hogan. Former Atlanta United Academy goalkeeper on the ball again. Just short of 50 saves now in the Baller League. Navas. Hogan. Speed United add to their 24 goals scored throughout the campaign. Coming off the back of a 1-1 draw, of course, against For the Win. Peralta. Milian. Forward now to Ochoa. It's an excellent challenge. Really, really good challenge. Starikov. Comfortable inside his own penalty area. Clips it into the wide areas magnificently. Here come the Midnight Wizards on the far side. The angled ball played in is out of reach. Well, Speed United have allowed just 3 goals in the last 3 games. Despite finding themselves pushing very high up the field throughout the course of the tournament and finding themselves exposed from a defensive perspective, they do have a 60% tackle success rate. It's the 3rd highest in the Baller League.
Both sides are blocking the pressure and looking to bring the
Here come the Midnight Wizards. Slipped away for now by Conditi. Midnight Wizards, of course, no longer an unbreakable force, coming off the back of their first loss in the Baller League, a 6-4 defeat to Marlon's M3 FC. Cheaply given away, and Navas towards goal and wide. Another chance pushed to one side for Speed United. And of course, the Midnight Wizards allowed 6 goals last week. It's the most they've ever conceded in a singular game thus far. Here comes the effort again from Peralta, and it's another really astute piece of goalkeeping. Chiarella across the face of goal, and no recipients for the Midnight Wizards this time. It's touched to one side. Here's Moby Fair. Bringing it forward. Over to the far side they go. Chiarella, very good challenge, and the goalkeeper with a stern, loud call diving at the feet. Rafael Chiarella with 4 goals in his last 3 games, the ex-Palmeiras and Sao Paulo player. Able to find a way through thus far. Perhaps this the opportunity. Fair manoeuvring the ball inside. Now into the path of Navas, who tried to play it back into the path of Peralta. Kachabu. Kachabu craving half a yard, which he gets. And over it goes. The theme of major missed opportunities continues throughout the contest. Rabold, have a little flick, and Dominguez. Rabold towards goal. Able to force a way through a flurry of retreating Midnight Wizards. Speed United unbeaten in 5 games. It's a lovely ball forward. Dominguez unable to control. Seeking second helpings though. Here he is again on the ball. Dominguez stopped in his tracks immediately. Midnight Wizards manoeuvring forward. Rabold on the ball again. Rabold lets fly! It's another spectacular save. Well, it's going to take something really, really good to beat him today. Speed United just can't find a way through. May very well have to go down as one of the goalkeeping performances of the tournament thus far from young Matias Reinares. Save after save after save the Argentine has made in goal for the Midnight Wizards. Can they find a way through on this occasion? Rabold is onside according to the officials. Hogan. Up into the sky it goes, back into the path of the Midnight Wizards. Stern challenge made by Navien in the centre of midfield, but here's Minana. Minana craving half a yard, and Dominguez able to make the necessary challenge, and Hogan away for now. So 5 minutes until we have the second game changer. You get the feeling that may very well be the difference between these two sides. Here's Moby Fair. Long ball forward and behind it goes into possession of Speed United. You need to find a victory here today with M3 FC creeping up behind them. Here's Dominguez. Running into trouble, and perhaps an opening for the Midnight Wizards. Towards goal it goes! Just wide of the intended target. Very, very good effort from Zayn Andrade. Would have been quite the way to score your first goal in the Baller League. Just a whisker away, wasn't he? Up it goes for now. McDonald giving chase. Clipped away by Gomez. It's been a positive display for both. Had more than their fair share of opportunities. Onditi, cleverly down the line, and towards goal it goes early. And it's a really good piece of goalkeeping, good thinking from Matias Reinares, whose impeccable evening continues. Andrade, and into the stands it goes, and as you can see at the bottom of your screen, Moby Fair not too pleased. Both goalkeepers called into action on numerous occasions, but no doubt about it, Matias Reinares having perhaps the best game of his Baller League career thus far.
3 minutes until our second and final game changer of this fixture.
This was the initial complaints from Speed United. It does seem as though Reinares just about was able to handle the ball inside his own penalty area. Ochoa won't win a free kick. Here's Starikov manoeuvring forward. Starikov, and fire deflection! Finally, it's the breakthrough, and it just had to be him. 9 goals and counting for Eugene Starikov. And the Midnight Wizards find themselves ahead.
However, there's been a referee challenge.
Well, it was always going to take something like this to force a way through. Starikov's efforts went towards goal. Deflected awfully, didn't it? Nothing the goalkeeper could do about it. There is a challenge on this play, by the way. Challenge is from Speed United that there was a foul in the build-up. And so the arena holds its breath. Starikov seems convinced that nothing happened. This is what the review is for. Was Ochoa taken down? Was that deemed a foul that was missed? And I can tell you from my vantage point where the referees are, you can see them yourself to the right-hand side of your screen. There is a conversation being had with the officials and the organisers of the tournament here.
We're good. Good, challenge unsuccessful.
Still the conversation goes on.
Challenge was unsuccessful. Goal stands.
So there you go. Starikov's goal stands. And the backflip, which we were all waiting for, is secured. Eugene Starikov duly obliges. Said he wanted to save the backflip for the game. after talking to Duda Paval before the game. And there it is. He did say, we maybe have two today. Let's wait and see. Well, Speed United will feel extraordinarily unfortunate. They've more than tested the Midnight Wizards, more than tested Matias Rañares in goal. And here they find themselves trailing. Here's Dominguez over to the far side, the ball goes out of touch. Let's not forget, if Speed United earn themselves just one more corner, they will have a penalty. And will ball forward and behind for a goal kick. 2 minutes until the game changer. Will that be a way for Speed United to find themselves back into the game? M3 FC will be delighted with this, should it stay this way. Hogan clipping forward immaculately and nudged away for now by the Midnight Wizards. Richard Ravold. Over to the far side the ball goes. Of course, you can get your official jerseys by scanning the QR code or head over to shop.ballerleague.us. Once again, walking around Miami today, saw plenty of Baller League jerseys amongst the city. Plenty here today as well. So the decision goes in favour of Speed United as we get closer and closer to the game changer. And for those of you joining us late, if you're wondering why Stephen Condra isn't on the field, he does at the moment have an ice pack attached to his hamstring. Came off in the game very, very early. A shower down the line. Into touch it goes. Rañares. Only finding the feet of a Choa. Thought about striking it for a moment. It's into the path of Navas. Very good challenge. He does go behind for a corner. Penalty for Speed United. Exactly what they wanted. Can they? Could they? It'll be Luis Peralta, the player, to take the penalty. Let's not forget Cameron McDonald missed the penalty earlier on. Can Luis Peralta equalise? Can he deliver when Speed United need him most? Can they finally find a pathway around Matias Rañares? It's Peralta, and Peralta! Finally! Peralta scores, and Matias Rañares is beaten. And cue delirium for Speed United. Last gasp equalising goal before the game changer. Well, third time's the charm for Peralta. Twice he's been denied by the goalkeeper. And firing over the bar. Tyler Hogan delighted with his teammates. Luis Peralta with the goal. His 6th goal of the Baller League. Well, we did say it was going to take something special to beat the Midnight Wizards goalkeeper Rañares here today. That was a very special goal.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And so then, game changer time.
Let's take this thing higher, higher than you ever been. Stand tall like Everest. We go higher. It's time to go higher.
1-on-1. So goal to goal, a single player from each team shoots from behind the halfway line. One opposing player defends from their own half. Hands are not permitted even for a goalkeeper, remember. The centre circle is the neutral zone, controlled by the player in possession. Each attack has to be completed within inside 15 seconds. So Peralta already has one goal for Speed United. Can he find another? Already beaten Rañares just a few moments ago as the clock counts down. It's Peralta into the grasp of the goalkeeper. Ball will trickle out. And we go again. Now the turn of the Midnight Wizards. Puff of the cheeks. Here's Collazo. Chiarella on the ball, and Chiarella lets fly and hits the woodwork. Well, as we said earlier on, he scored 4 goals in his last 3 games, and he came almightily close to making it 5 goals. Now the turn of Speed United again. Peralta. Can he find his 2nd goal? It's Peralta! Up and away by the goalkeeper again. So can the Midnight Wizards find something here? Rafael Chiarella, into the stands it goes. Well, it's been a very good start. Match day 8 here in the Baller League. Game full of thrills and spills, full of enthrallment. Can Peralta, the goal scorer for Speed United, find another? Peralta into the chest of the goalkeeper. Comes straight back out to him, so remember the clock starts again. There's a second stab at it from Peralta, and over. Two players that have excelled here today, but now it's the turn of Zayan Andrade, the Brazilian player from Rio. It is Andrade, easily picked up by Hogan, who can try the chip from here. Unsuccessful on this occasion. So just a minute and a half remaining. Do we have a late winning goal? Andrade with the responsibility for the Midnight Wizards again. It's Andrade, really good piece of goalkeeping in these circumstances from Tyler Hogan. Once again, hardly put a foot wrong, the Speed United goalkeeper. So now the turn of Ochoa. And Ochoa, once again, Reinares on hand, can try the chip from this range. Reinares scores! And his impeccable, imperious evening continues. Matias Reinares delivering save after save after save. Now with the goal, and maybe a late winning goal for the Midnight Wizards. Well, Ochoa did nothing wrong really, struck the effort really, really well. The deflection fortuitous for the Midnight Wizards. But Matias Reinares had so much work to do when he picked the ball up, and he curled it around Ochoa expertly. Now here's Peralta. Just over the bar, it was dipping at the end. So, he plays hero again. It's brought forward by Melby Fair. And Melby Fair scores! Crept through the goalkeeper. Hogan will be disappointed, no doubt, but the Midnight Wizards may very well have just secured a massive victory on match day 8 in the Baller League. Oh, they're celebrating now. Wonderfully thrashed towards goal. As we said, the goalkeeper may very well be a little bit disappointed with himself. But Melby Fair won't care. His 2nd goal in the Baller League. They just have presented the Midnight Wizards all 3 points. Unless Speed United finds something quick. Rabel towards goal and wide. There is a deflated feel amongst the Speed United ranks. Menana will try his luck, and wide. A sense of urgency now needed from Speed United. Hardly any time at all if they are to find something. The task presented to Penalta again. Once again, Reñares able to make the necessary save. What a night for him. And he knows it. Can the Midnight Wizards rub salt in the wound?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Very nearly so. Wide this time, but it won't matter. The Midnight Wizards back to winning ways with a gargantuan victory over Speed United on match day 8. It's Speed United.